We're in bed, and then they started shooting, and then my mom came in and told us to get on the floor.
Drug use, gang activity, shootings, drive-bys, there are things that are dealing with in which our average kids may not have to deal with.
Every day I hear gunshots, during the night, during the day, it really doesn't matter.
There was shooting, 2 guys dead, 2 more hurt.
2 teenagers were shot outside a busy fast food restaurant.
Well, one of the most extensive studies on post-traumatic stress disorder in the community was done here in Atlanta, and it found the staggering statistic that of those who lived in low-income areas in this city, 46% suffered from PTSD. That is a rate much higher even than soldiers who've seen war.
Spend time in some inner cities and you can understand why, to children in particular, it can sometimes feel like a war zone.
War to them may be a local drive-by between gang rivals, War to them may be walking down the street on a needle or seeing someone, using drugs. That is war. And these kids see this on a daily basis, so they may think it's normal when, we know it's not.
When you look at how the rest of the developed world fares when it comes to gun murders as compared to the US, you start to see how many more here must be touched by violence.
Straight at me.
In a neighborhood, they might hear maybe a car backfiring, and it sounds like a gunshot, and they might have something like a panic response. So they might have increased sweating, increased heart rate response. On a clinical level, what we call that is hypervigilance, is this inability to feel safe. So their brains grow up faster, their biology grows up faster. Gunshots and this violence in the street is something that they're adapting to, and their brain is adapting to it as well, and we can see that on the imaging.
In effect, in these neighborhoods, children's brains are measurably growing up faster because of what they're exposed to. But that affects their ability to learn. It makes it difficult for them to build relationships, makes them more susceptible to depression and to drug use.
Unlike soldiers who come home from war and now they no longer are in that dangerous environment, a lot of the children in this study are still living in that dangerous environment.
We were in bed, and then they started shooting, and then my mom came in and told us to get on the floor and then get up until it stops. And then it stopped, and one person died and the police came.
Like, I even witnessed my kids getting off the school bus and, we hearing gunshots from the next complex over. It's hard for me to go to sleep because sometimes the gun violence, like the guns going off, I can still hear them sometimes like ringing in my ear.
Researchers say the levels of PTSD in US inner cities are comparable to those in refugee populations around the world, but that here it goes unrecognized, leaving many to cope alone with the impact.